Hello everyone. I've wanted to do a bit of a throwback to a team I ran a few seasons back, and that was with the Charizard in the lead and two Charmers behind it. Now in the Ultra Premier Cup, your major threats to Charmers are basically your Steel types. They cause you some problems because obviously they resist your Charm damage, and also I was thinking Empoleon was a bit of a showstopper when I ran Charizard last time. With this water damage, it destroys Charizard quite quickly, and obviously it resists the Charm and wrecks those. So I thought I'd try it out again in Ultra Premier, and this time bring out Obstagoon. The idea being Obstagoon has some play against both Charizard and all the Steel types that threaten your Charmers, and should give you a nice bait swap opportunity. You run the Obstagoon, if you get a good lead, you stay in. If you get a bad lead, you bring in a Charmer to bait out their counter. So with that in mind, we're just going to hop into matches and see how it plays out. Right, so with our Charmers, we've got Togekiss with Charm, Ancient Power and Flamethrower. You've got a couple of other viable moves on Togekiss, but I went with these ones because I just like the rock for anti-flying. And then you've got Clefable with Psychic and Meteor Mash. So, worst case scenario, we lead into a Charizard. No, it's not that bad. We've got a fairly reasonable matchup. It does resist the fighting damage, but it doesn't resist the Night Slashes. It does, however, also resist the Charm damage, which is slightly inconvenient. So what we're going to have to do is, well, Boost Fish. We've got a boost go through. That means we've got a significant amount of damage. We're just going to double shield here, because now we've got the boost. We're hitting 50% harder. That's great. So we're just going to slap them with Night Slashes, try and get that shields down. It doesn't actually matter too much to this team, but sometimes being able to land a charge move with your fairies at the back does actually help, so we're just going to carry on with it. And there's probably another bit of blast burning coming, and like I say, we've got to hold on to that boost and just carry on as long as we can. And we're going to lag for a little bit with the Dragon Claw and return fire with a little bit of Night Slash. There we go. Down goes the Charizard. Gyarados comes in next, and we're just going to quickly switch to a Clefable. There's a waterfall there, so it's actually some quite a lot of upfront damage. That's going to hurt, more than it doubled with Dragon Breath, but that's okay. In comes a Tangrowth, and same again there really. We don't have Moonblast on this, because whilst Moonblast is a great move, I'm always of the opinion that if the Charm damage didn't kill it, then you probably want a different damage type instead. Now I think we might have got to Meteor Mash there, but not quite, so I'm going to bring Togekiss in. There's a bit of a problem for us, because the Tangrowth is going to throw rocks at us. That's unfortunate. So, there we go, Rock Slide coming through, but we are pecking away at that Tangrowth, and we are going to get to a charge move, I think. No, not quite. Another Rock Slide. The downside of Charm is, of course, it's very low energy gain. It means it doesn't exert any shield pressure at all, so we haven't got the shields down at all on that Tangrowth. However, Obstagoon, maybe they can bring us back a lead. Gyarados is quite low, so we're just going to go straight into Night Slashes. I'll shield one of these for sure. There we go. And then the next one going through. And we've got the boost as well, which is even better. 2 boosts in one match, that's pretty glorious. But they've got that shield left. It's close, but they're going to take us out. Still, not too bad for a first time. This is kind of my warm-up match for playing a full set. I've got slightly more than 5 for you today, as a result. So, next up, I'm going to lead the Obstagoon into a Machamp. So this is disastrous for us because obviously it's double super effective, so we quickly switch. Togekiss on the other hand is super effective against Machamp and resists all its fighting damage. So they switch to a Muck. Muck is a fairly even matchup if it weren't for the fact it probably has Sludge Wave, and the Sludge Wave is pretty much a one shot to put us down. So we're just going to have to shield here, we can't risk that. And they've got Acid Spray, so they're in a nasty position now because from all they throw, that tells us they almost certainly don't have Sludge Wave as well. They'll have Dark Pulse, which we resist. So even with Acid Spray debuffing us, they've only got the one shield. So that's okay. We take the Muck out, and we've still got the debuff on us. So we're just going to go quickly for the Ancient Power. A little bit of a Boost Fish here, I guess, and see if we can get some damage on the Flying type. And we do in fact get the boost. So we are going to stay in because our defense has been returned to normal, and we double resist that Dragon Breath. You've got to watch what moves Gyarados has got with this team, and there we go, you can take the chunks off it even with low health. We've almost taken out that in just one go. So we're going to bring in the Obstagoon again, going to get hit by the charge move, but they've got either probably Aqua Tail, yep. The Crunch would be not very effective, so there's no point, and the Machamp comes back out again, and we go with the Clefable. So they're not switching out the Machamp yet, so that's not so good for them. Clefable will be taking it apart. Rock Slide is the only option they've got for doing any harm at all, and it's not going to be enough. So what they got in the back row, and it comes Gyarados again, not much health, good game. So It's a bit of a cheesy team, this one. Obviously you're relying a lot on getting the alignment you want and being able to sweep with a Charmer. In some ways it's a bit like that rather entertaining Bastiodon double grass team, although obviously it's a bit more brittle, as you'll see in some of the other matches. So, leading into an Obstagoon. Leading into an Ampharos with the Obstagoon. That's a fairly even matchup, or it would be if it didn't have Focus Blast. So, chances are it does have Focus Blast, and we can't take that risk. So we go for the switch to the Clefable, and probably line it up to throw Electric at our Togekiss later. We're just going to have to suck that up. We're going to shield the Rock Slides here, all the Power Whips, probably Power Whip, yes, Power Whip going through, and we're just going to build up to a Psychic and throw that. Like I say, Psychic doesn't hit quite as hard as Moonblast does, but it still hurts plenty, and you do have the odd chance of getting a defense debuff. Mostly it just bounces off a shield regardless, because your shield pressure is so low, it doesn't really make much difference. So next move coming through, we don't shield this one, the Rock Slide isn't quite taking us out, and we are going to be able to take the Tangrowth down with Charm. We win the switch advantage, that's good, and out comes Ampharos again. Now we've got this nasty position of bringing Obstagoon back, but I'm going to hope we can take it down before it gets the Focus Blast. So we're going to go very quickly into it and switch again. They didn't throw the Focus Blast, so they got close to the energy. And Thunder Punch, yikes. So that's taken off almost all our health, but we've taken down Ampharos. And they've got a Togekiss in the back, at which point they've got Togekiss, a shield, and a Dark type that's vulnerable to charm damage. So I'm going to play this out because I don't really want to quit for you guys, but it's a pretty much game over at this point. They can shield us, and none of our moves hit for any better than not very effective. Whilst they're hitting super effective with Charm, and we can't shield that, doesn't really matter because we've got no shields. So they take us out quite easily. Watch out for Charmers in the back, it doesn't work very well with an Obstagoon. There we go. Next up, we're leading our Obstagoon into a Swampert. So this is a neutral matchup. We're going to go for the bait here. We're just going to build up some energy first. That way we've got a move ready. They throw their charge move. We're going to let them because we know it's a Hydro Cannon and we know we can soak it. And we're just going to go quickly for the switch. I don't know what happened there, but the damage didn't land, so I'm not sure whether they registered a fake shield or not. Sometimes it works in your favour. Who knew? Anyway, so we shield the first Hydro Cannon and they bring the Ampharos out. That's good because we don't really want it to be going up against the Togekiss, and they maybe don't realise we've got it in the back. Well, they certainly don't. So Thunder Punches are just neutral. We're going to return with a Psychic because Electric resists the Steel and Meteor Mash. And Psychic goes through, they block it, fine. We're still doing a lot of damage with the Charm, and then the Thunder Punch is coming through again. And I'm just going to take a gamble at this point. I'm going to bring the Obstagoon back in and just gamble they don't have a Focus Blast ready, or that we can take it down before they get to it. So there we go. Focus Blast against double super effective is just a disaster, and they have a Dragonite in the back. They think they've got rid of my fairy now. They're not quite so sure that I haven't got another one. Still, we're going to stay in this one because we know we're going to the back, and we're just going to just nibble away with the Obstagoon and let it go down to the Dragonite. Hopefully to get that last shield off. We're not going to shield here because it's going to take us out, and we're going to get the Togekiss to finish the job. And just like that, goodbye Dragonite. Wow, look at that. So equal shields, half health Swampert. I think we're in a good place here. We are going to shield here. It's a bit of a gamble. If they can land a Sludge Wave, that will do us quite a lot of damage, but it won't be enough to take us out, and I don't think they're going to get there in time. And sure enough, there they go. Part of the fun of this team is being able to take people down with their shield still in play, because it means they effectively wasted that shield and didn't use it at all. Lapras into Obstagoon. We run into the lead, and this is a good one for us. We want to stay in on the Lapras, but they switch immediately to Machamp, which is brilliant because we can go into Clefable and just take it apart. This will probably be a Rock Slide. It's the only thing that does us any damage. We're not going to shield it because this Machamp is toast. There we go. And we're halfway to a Psychic, so that's great. What have we got next? So out comes the Lapras again. We're going to stay because Meteor Mash is super effective against ice, but resisted by water, so it does neutral. Still does quite a lot of neutral. There we go, takes a big chunk off, and we throw the Charm some more. And as you can see, we're nibbling away. They've almost certainly got the moves built up a bit, so we're going to bring Obstagoon back in to absorb those and see what happens. The Surf, okay, we're probably going to let another Surf land because it's likely they had two back to back, and I didn't want to risk a Skull Bash landing. And there we go, second Surf coming through. And in comes a Tangrowth again. This is getting very popular today. I think I blame Zarnik. We're just going to cross drop that. Probably should have gone for the Night Slash, doesn't make much difference though, because they shield it. And into the Night Slash, we're going to shield here so we can take the Tangrowth down. We don't really want them to be throwing rocks at our back row Togekiss, so we're just going to nibble away with Night Slashes. I think we get to our Night Slashes slightly faster than they get to their charge moves, and if not, we're just going to have taken down a fair bit of their health already. So there's another Night Slash going through, and there we go. So they're down to a bit lower health. They're clearly farming us quite hard, I think, and they'll have an energy lead, so I think we're going to have to end up with a Rock Slide landing on us anyway, because I think they've got 2 loaded now. But Tangrowth, there we go. Yep, there's a Rock Slide coming through. That's going to hurt, but we've still got a Charmer and about half health. So in the back we've got that last Lapras, and it's going to be close. There we go. Goodbye Lapras. Good game to my opponent. And next up we have Obstagoon leading into Venusaur. Now this is where I ran into the flaw with this team. Poison, it's resisted by fighting damage. It's also resisted by charm damage. Sorry, resists rather than resisted. So we're left with a situation where we do actually have to take out this Venusaur with not very effective fighting damage and Night Slashes. Because if we don't, we're left with throwing charms at it and we're in an even worse position. Unless we can somehow get an energy lead, that's not going to happen unless they switch out on us. So we're just going to have to stay in. We are going to switch now to low health to the Togekiss because we're hoping that the grass damage is resisted, so we're in a good place there. But we do have to shield the sludge bombs, and it means we're going to get double shields for this. That's not so great. But the flip side is, on this team, it doesn't actually matter, because part of the thing is, you don't exert shield pressure because you don't have many things that need shielding. And that in turn means, well, it doesn't really matter too much if they've still got shields left. However, now they've got the Lone Muck out, and this also is a problem for us, because whilst it's neutral, because the Dark and the Poison cancel out for the Charm damage, Sludge Wave does that. Yikes. So, Obstagoon's going to have to come in and save the day. We're going to rush to a Cross Chop and try and take off enough health from the Lone Muck. There we go, nearly there, and they're going to throw their energy, so that's good, because it does mean that if we bring Clefable back out, we've at least got a chance to take it out before they Sludge Wave us again. There we go. So, they've got a Venusaur with not much health left, that resists Charm, and a Gyarados. So, this is going to be tight, but it is got Dragon Breath now, and we do double resist that, so that's quite good for us. It means that the only thing they can really do to us is the Aqua Tails. That'll do enough, but I think we're going to take it down. And they switch to Venusaur, we get the Psychic in. It's probably just acting as third shield at this point, but that's actually okay, because it does mean they don't Sludge Bomb us, so that's fine. It's looking tight though. That Aqua Tail is going to take off most of our remaining health. So can we get them down before that Dragon Breath nibbles us? There we go, just about. Close, but we did it. And that's with 2 really quite annoying counters to our team. So what have we got next? Next up we've got Swampert. So again, fairly neutral here. We are probably just going to let the charge move land, build up to Night Slash first, and let them throw. Get ourselves an energy lead. So we've got 2 Night Slashes. That means they've probably got quite a long way towards 2 Hydro Cannons. So we're going to let one land, and we're going to quickly switch, and we're going to let the other one land. That way we split the damage across our 2, and that's okay, because it means it's not a Sludge Wave. That's the important part. Magnezone, bit of a disaster here, because Magnezone resists everything we can throw at it. However, Magnezone is pretty squishy, so you can see the Charm is taking some chunks off it. Mirror Shot is a sensible play for them, and off they go. Yes, it's super effective. They don't really need to bother with wild charges, and they can probably farm us for energy too. In hindsight, I probably should have thrown the Meteor Mash there. We may have got a shield off them. But we're going to bring the Obstagoon in, and with its fighting damage should be able to take out the Magnezone. And ideally they won't have realised that we've got something very vulnerable to Magnezone in the back, and they'll let it go. Yes, there we go. So the Magnezone is now gone, and Blaziken, wow, okay, haven't seen one of those in a while. That's also a problem for this team, because fire resists the fairy, so it cancels out the fighting vulnerability, and the fire damage will hit neutral. However, the counter is resisted by us, and if they throw fighting moves, well, they'd be daft, and there's a good chance they've got fire and flying moves. So, Togekiss comes in, Blaziken's going to probably Blaze Kick us. There we go. It hurts, but not enough to matter here. And the Swampert comes back in. So again, if they can get to a Sludge Wave, we're in trouble. We shield speculatively in case that is a Sludge Wave, but it's not as Hydro Cannon. Double Hydro Cannons do still hurt, but obviously they're not super effective, and they do still get to it. Hopefully this isn't a Sludge Wave. No, not quite. So not much health left, but the Blaziken's low, so are we going to be able to take it out? Are we going to finish off our opponent with 2 shields left? Yes, we are. Thank you very much. So, what have we got next? Leading into... So, Obstagoon into a Scavalier. Right, another problem for this team, obviously. We are double super effective from their fighting, and our fairies aren't going to do a lot of good against it. So, I'm thinking this match is probably already lost at this point, and I've realised one of the flaws with this team is a Scavalier. But what I'm going to do is bring in the Clefable and try and peck away at it, go down 2 shields against this, and just hope to do enough damage to it that we can finish it off. And then just kind of pray that whatever they've got in the back is actually vulnerable enough to us that we have a chance. It's a bit of a gamble, but we'll see. I mean, we're already in danger of spending, 2 shields and 2 Pokemon in order to take down this Scavalier, and I can only really hope that they don't want to go down 2 shields. And of course, everything in the back is different coverage, so not quite as much of a problem for us. As you can see, it's taken us out. We're down 2 shields to 1, and this will be the drill run probably. Hopefully, it's not a Mega Horn. Okay, drill run. So it hurts, but we take out this Cavalier. And it's in a load of muck. At this point, this is another thing that's a problem for us. We can probably take this out, but only if we've got, shield advantage, or we'll play it through. But as you can see, a team with a Scavalier in the lead and in a load of muck in the back is a problem for us. So it goes. I think we've been unlucky with a load of mucks today, but they don't see too many of them. Maybe we're going to take this out, but they're probably going to get that Sludge Wave, and yeah, there we go. Splat goes the Togekiss, it's toast. So didn't even get to see what they had in the back, and they had a shield left. So there's a flaw with the team, and it's perhaps a bit ironic given my previous team did in fact have an Escavalier lead. I'm going to try some different variations of this, I think, because I think it has some potential. I'm wondering if something like a Blaziken on the lead might actually work better, or something else that isn't hard-walled by, Escavaliers or Venusaurs. Have you tried something similar to this? I mean, I have tried previous seasons with a Charizard lead, and it worked very well in Open Ultra. I actually wanted to see how this played in Ultra Premier, just for a bit of fun. I hope you have a good day. Thank you very much for watching.